Okay, if we're working with this, we often have to start with basic definitions. So can somebody tell me what a compound sentence is? Michael. Michael, you are totally on the right track. I want to change your language a little bit here. In fact, I want to start changing everybody's language in this class away from the word sentence necessarily. It's not two sentences, it's two what? Andrew, or Aaron. Not two words, more complex than that. Jacob. More than a phrase. The phrase is a technical term in grammar. Thank you. Two clauses. Two or more clauses joined into one sentence. Here's the definition of compound sentence. Two or more clauses joined into one sentence. Now, it gets a little bit more complicated than that, but that's a really basic way to understand it. So, Michael, you had the right idea when you were saying it's two sentences joined into one, but really it's two clauses joined into one. Here's an example. Lauren, can you tell me where the two clauses begin and end? Where's the division? Very good. And Lauren, can you give me the noun-verb pair for the first clause? Give me the help. Is shining. Very good. All right. Sun is shining. Joined with. Michael, what about the second clause? Where are my noun-verb pairs? Nope. Identify the verb first if you're having trouble. What's the verb? What's the action? That's okay. Aaron, help him out. Very good. Making. It's actually is making. We've got to have the whole thing. So, Aaron, what is making? That's not what's doing the action. What's doing the action of making? Put your hands down. Aaron can do it. Yes. What is doing the action of making? That's correct. And what word is standing in for the sun in that part of the sentence? Nope, it's a pronoun. Aaron, don't give up. You can do it. It's a pronoun and it replaces the word sun. You've got this is your verb. Okay? What's doing that action? And it's a pronoun that you're correct. It is the sun, but it's a pronoun that replaces the sun. No? Okay, we'll get you some help. B. It. That's correct. Okay. Compound sentence. Here's the rule. With a compound sentence, insert a comma before the conjunction. So, let's see. Lauren, did you have one of your examples there? Would you mind typing it for me, please? Colby, if you're looking through your journal entry and you want to know whether or not it's a compound sentence, what do you have to recognize? Give you a hint, we just did it. So if you're looking at your sentences and you want to know, I don't know, is this a compound sentence? Is it not? What do you have to look for? Very good. You have to look for the clauses. And that's why I'm drilling you guys on this, because clause structure is so basic to all of grammar and writing that if you can't recognize noun verb pairs, you're going to have a trouble with comma rules, with just about everything. No, that's fine. Can you tap a space for me, please? Thanks. Good. Thank you, Lauren. They really love what they do, and I think that is very inspiring. Let's see. Will, can you find a noun verb pair in there for me? Love is your verb. Really is an adverb. What's doing the loving? They. That's correct. They love. Joey, can you give me another one? I think is a verb, and what's doing the thinking? I. Correct. I think. This is pretty complicated because actually Lauren has included 2 clauses on the front end, 2 clauses on the back end. Yeah, can you tell me what the other clauses are? Either of them, Michael? Oh, come on. I believe that you know it. Find a verb. And remember, sometimes the verbs are really small and they escape our attention. I'm sorry? Yes, very good. And if it is, Michael, what is this is tricky, but what is the noun? What's the pronoun to is? What is very inspiring? Not quite. It's tough. We're going to see if we can get you some help. Amir. That. Very good. All right, who's got the last one? Brandon.
They do.
Very good. So I've got a whole bunch of clauses. Look at that. Lauren has written one compound sentence that actually has 4 clauses. It's a properly written sentence. It flows well. They really love what they do, and I think that is very inspiring. No problem. It's a good sentence. So if you're thinking about this, you're probably asking the question, then Mr. Clarkson, why do I only put the comma right there? Why don't I also put the comma right there or right there? Why would a comma go between those clauses and not between the others? Anybody answer that? What's the difference? Joey? Very good. Thank you for listening to my rule. You insert it before the conjunction. I don't see that and conjunction anywhere else. I insert it before the conjunction. Not just any conjunction. I'm going to add one more level of complexity to this, but don't worry, it's not going to be too complex because I have a cute little memory device for it. And then we'll go through example after example. The and conjunctions, the short conjunctions, are called coordinating conjunctions. Does anybody know what a coordinate is in math? You study that yet? Harold? Yeah, it shows placement, right? So when you coordinate 2 things, all you're doing is placing them next to each other. It's a conjunction that places 2 things right next to each other equally. There are also these things called subordinating conjunctions where one is above the other. We're not going to worry about that right now. Worrying about coordinating conjunctions. And the coordinating conjunctions are simple because there are only 7 of them in the English language. Do you remember the articles in English? There are only 3. Anybody remember the articles, Lauren? Hey, and the. That's a type of word that you can memorize. You can memorize all the articles in English because there are only 3. You can memorize all the coordinating conjunctions because there are only 7. And there's your memory device. That's all 7 of them. Like the B stands for but. And whenever I say that word in 7th grade, the entire class erupts into laughter. Because that's where they are. Can anybody tell me what any of the others are? If B stands for but, what did the other letters stand for? Harold. Very good. We're looking at the short conjunctions, 2 or 3 letters. The O does stand for or. Allie, is that the one you were? Very good. B? No. Use a pronoun, not a conjunction. It is a 3-letter word, though. Very good. Guesses on any of the others? Aaron? Very good, Aaron. There you go. No, it's shorter than that. This is the one that you probably don't use very often. It's nor. Fanboys. Student taught me that in my 2nd or 3rd year of teaching, and it's always stuck with me and made my life a lot easier teaching this to students. So let's summarize for a moment, then we'll take a look at examples. How do you know the comma belongs there? For 2 reasons. One, you see clauses on either side, and you see a coordinating conjunction. If you see that, the comma belongs there. Now take a look at your examples in the journal entries. If I've inserted a comma there, I've inserted it for a number of reasons, but many of you, I just talked to you about it, I've inserted it because of the compound sentence reason. So let's see some examples. Who had examples? Compound sentence issue. Harold's got an example. Chase, excellent, you got an example. So Chase, let's start with you. Sure. By the way, just as an off note while Chase is typing, I remember when I asked you to write those journal entries and I said, if you're going to write about the election, I want you to write intelligently about the election. I want you to provide supporting reasons. Many of you did an excellent job with that. I was actually impressed by your journal entries about the election. A lot more impressed than I am by many of the adults talking about the election. So thank you for that. That was great. Jessica, can you find a noun-verb pair in this sentence for me? Very good. What's the other one? I love. And coordinating conjunction and. Harold, don't know if the signal reaches all the way over here. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But see what we can do there. Oh, good. Okay. Just tap a space for me there, please. Another one. And then an apostrophe, please. Good. Let's see. Kylie, can you give me the noun-verb pair for the first clause? That's right. That's my noun. What's my verb? Just is. Yeah. Just is. Let's see. Chase, how about that second clause there? What's my noun-verb pair? Not still. And remember that sometimes adverbs, little words like still, can interrupt the noun-verb pair. So can you see either what you think is the noun or what you think is the verb? I'm sorry? No, that's the coordinating conjunction. Remember, that's like the glue that sticks those two clauses together. Keep trying. He is the noun, right? What's my verb? Yep. Technically not as an adverb, but we'll circle the whole word since it's a contraction joining together. Another example, please. Who else has one? Oh, come now. Drew, I'm sorry, Micah, wasn't I talking to you about a compound sentence example? I was talking to somebody back there. Look in your journal entries. Look for inserted commas. Look to see if they're inserted right before the coordinating conjunction, an and, a but, something like that. Let's get at least one more example. You got one? Okay, excellent. Harold, would you mind passing the keyboard down along the rows? Just student to student, all the way over to Micah. And you know what, Micah? If it's incorrect, if it's not an example, that's awesome too, because mistakes teach us as much as successes. Could you tap Control G for me, please? Okay, and can you do it one more time, please? Thank you. All right, go ahead with your sentence when you're ready. All right. Tap a backspace for me, please. And then why don't you tap a backspace and type the I in capital. There you go. Thank you. Oh, by the way, one little capitalization issue. Type backspace and do a capital P, please. And I hope I caught all of these on your papers, but technically when you're talking about President of the United States, you should capitalize it. If you're talking about just some random president of some company, you don't need to capitalize it unless it comes in front of their name. But when you're talking about what the Secret Service calls POTUS, President of the United States, you need to use the capital P. This year I decided that I wanted Mitt Romney as president. Jenna, can you find a noun-verb pair for me, please? I see two. I want it. Very good. Jenna, can you find the other one for me? Very good. All right, somebody tell me how this kind of breaks from the pattern we're talking about. What is it missing? I see a comma, but it's missing something. Yeah, Allie. It's missing one of those coordinating conjunctions. So we do have a comma here, though, and I asked him to insert this comma. Interesting. It's a different rule. It's a different comma rule. The comma is properly placed, but this is a different rule. And anybody know what that rule is? I asked some of you to write it down on your MUGS checklist. No. Yes. That's right. I'm just going to give a little preview of this rule. I don't want to go into it in too much detail because I still want to focus on this one comma rule and I don't want to confuse you. But some of you will be ready for this. whenever you have sort of just random words placed right before the subject, you follow them with a comma. So if I said, on Friday, we studied grammar, what's the subject of that sentence? On Friday, we studied grammar. Harold. That's right. What's the verb? Very good. So if I say, on Friday, we studied grammar, where would I place the comma, Harold? After Friday, because it's an introductory element. It's just a couple random words. Well, not random, but a few words that provide some introduction before you get to the subject. So that's a different sort of comma error. And you know it's different because we keep looking for those. Okay? I'll pause. Anybody have any questions? Looking at examples, you don't understand why your example works or doesn't work. Miranda.
You said that I had a run-on sentence, but no.
Oh, okay. Let's just take a quick look at a run-on sentence. Can you type that one for me, Miranda? Yes, please, pass the keyboard. This will be a good opportunity for us to exercise our clause identification, because if it's a run-on sentence, that means she has too many clauses incorrectly joined. It was fun is what you just typed. Is that it? That's it? Okay. And I think we need a, why don't you backspace and type a Y? Oh, no, you did. Backspace. Very good. All right. Sydney, my cousin, inspired me to join dance. It was fun. Let's see. Matthew, can you identify a noun-verb pair in there for me? Yeah, very good. Thank you. It was. Let's see. Joey, can you find the other one? Close. Inspired is the verb, but what actually is the noun? Not cousin. Nope. It's kind of like cousin. There you go. Sydney inspired and it was fun. I have two clauses. According to grammar, I must correctly join them with a joining word or a comma and a coordinating conjunction. There's different ways of joining compound sentences, but Miranda, here's the problem. At the break between the two, you have no sort of joining. That's why it's a run-on. It just runs from one to the next without any sort of joining. Can somebody help me understand how to fix this? So if she wants to repair it, Miles. You actually do have to, but that's a different sort of issue. So Miles, you're correct. Commas belong there because that's a non-essential element. But what could I do to fix the run-on sentence problem? Allie? Okay, but if you just add a comma, what error have you just created? Comma splice. So you need a conjunction also. So add a comma and a conjunction. What do you want to do? What conjunction you want to add? Good. Give me an and. Can somebody give me a different way of fixing this? Period. Just break it. Another one would, which I caution you on using, but it's grammatically correct. Students often don't know how to use a semicolon properly, but you could use a semicolon. So any of those would fix the problem. But hopefully now you're getting a sense of why a run-on sentence is a run-on sentence. You guys are doing an excellent job with identifying grammatical structure, so we're just going to keep it up. That's it for today. Keep all this material, remember.